Hi, I'm Sheryl Delozier, State Representative for the 88th District. We're here today at the 100th Farm Show, and I have a special guest with Secretary Redding. We're going to be talking about the Farm Show and everything that's going on here. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to the Farm Show.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you.
It's been an exciting experience. I worked the milkshakes this morning, so saw lots of people.
See those hands.
Yeah, I know.
They're not sticky.
No, I washed them, and but we had the ability to see so many different faces and so many different people from so many walks of life that come over to this to learn about agriculture. So one of the questions that I had that as secretary, we have so many students that are surrounded, especially where we are in central Pennsylvania, with rural areas, and everybody makes the assumption you have to grow up on a farm to do agriculture, which is not the truth.
It is not.
There's a lot of options.
It's one of our great challenges, right? But it's reflective of the larger society's view of agriculture, right? It's a farmer.
Right.
The reality is this show sort of demonstrates it's that, but it's so much more, right? It's all the value added, it's the processing, it's the retail. You have key corridors that sort of demonstrate that well. It's about food, right? And a lot of other things, but so many jobs, 500,000 jobs in Pennsylvania that are anchored in food, agriculture, and the environment. 60,000 of those at the farm level. All of the others are value-added processing, retail, distribution jobs. They're all part of agriculture. That's what this show is about.
Well, in a lot of ways, you see a lot of equipment around here and equipment that's 4 stories high. I've never seen equipment so large that all involved in the selling of it, in and of itself as a distributor, as well as the use of it on a farm. And our industry with agriculture is also one, safety is a huge issue on the farm, as well as with all of the food that we distribute. And I know the Department of Agriculture has a very big role in making sure that everything is safe.
That is our primary mission. When you look at the department, we've got things like Farm Show and the state-sponsored shows, but at the very top line, it's public health and safety. We put a lot of effort into that, as you know, through appropriation to the department.
Sure.
Food safety, plant health, animal health are the anchors of what we do in the department.
Well, and many of the schools try very hard to have that educational, to talk about both being safe and how our food is produced in Pennsylvania and the many pieces that go along with that. So the state is very proud to be able, in many different agencies, not only Ag, but Department of Health and many of the others. But one of the other things that is happening with 100 years being here in Pennsylvania with the Farm Show, we're talking about celebrating that. And we, at the milkshake area today, we had a brand new flavor, which really threw a lot of people off, quite honestly. They were like, I hear there's a new flavor, what is it? But seems to be going over very well.
It's going over great. So did you put your sort of wish list in of what you want the new variety?
It's pretty amazing what does get asked for over there.
Right.
Vanilla and chocolate was always the basics, and now we threw in strawberry, strawberries and cream. But we got requests for peanut butter and cookies and Oreo and all of those. But they seem to enjoy it a lot. But one of the things that's over there, which I thought was really neat, was the campaign, and to get the title correct, so I have it, Fill a Glass with Hope campaign. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in the last administration, credit to Governor Corbett and Secretary Gregg, we had worked on this issue for a long time. It's very simple. It's taking fluid milk and getting it into the food banks. And you would think that would be fairly simple,
sure,
right? The challenge is twofold. One is in Pennsylvania law, there are very prescribed sort of who can be a handler of milk and a dealer of milk. What we were able to do is get the food banks as a dealer of milk, which allows them then to buy at a cheaper price, put that milk into the food bank. So what the Dairymen's Association, the dairy industry, has done is got that law changed and that change for industry. But then they need to raise money, and they've raised $150,000 to support the purchase of milk in the food banks, what you and I would know here in central Pennsylvania as the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank.
Right.
Did a great job. So they're making that connection that regardless of whether you can buy the product or not, nutrition is important, food is a basic human right, and they're recognizing that. Very proud of what the industry has done.
Well, and one of the biggest things that we have now within our schools is fighting for good health and good nutrition with our foods and our school lunches, as well as the fact that, like you said, having a good glass of milk getting that vitamin D into our children's daily lives and expecting them to understand how important that is comes from all different facets. So if we can teach them when they're going to the food bank as well as when we're in school, I think that it'll sink in eventually as to, you know.
I think it's a reminder. Dairy is our leading economic enterprise in agriculture in Pennsylvania. You've got all these great producers. We've got great sort of, dairies, Harrisburg Dairy being right here in the area. They're a participant. But we also have a state with a lot of needs for food security. Mm-hmm. And if we can make the connection between production and that group of folks who really need our help, it's a great reminder that you cannot have a charitable food system without a food system that's charitable.
Right.
And we've got it in Pennsylvania, right? So very proud of the dairy industry. But thank you.
And the dairy industry has done wonders, like I said, in that education. One of the things that's also known at the farm show, and we'll just kind of finish with that, is there's lots of fun events here that while we're educating in agriculture, we certainly also want a lot of people to have fun. And I know there's a lot of celebrity tractors and milkings and
horse races.
Horse races. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the fun things that people have been able to?
We've had a great time. I'm always amazed that I get roped into doing a lot of different things, and no pun intended. But as an example, last night, we had the celebrity draft horse.
Okay.
So if you've ever tried to drive, a draft horse, two horses, we've got milking contests. We have.
I think I'll stick with a car. That'll be what I drive.
Yeah, grape stomp.
Right.
You pick the commodity, and there's sort of a fun connection to it.
Well, a lot of times that's what people leave talking about, because that sticks in their brain as to the fact of what the horses and the animals, or the grape stomp, or milking a cow, or something with the industry. But in many ways, the industry needs to be promoted. It is our leading industry. Pennsylvania is very proud of its agriculture, and thank you for everything you do for the department as well as the industry in the state. So thank you for your time.
Welcome to Farm Show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.